Guys, welcome back to Before the First Cast with your host, Calvin Herndon. I have a special guest with us tonight for with Smith Mountain Lake Guide Service, Mr. Billy Kohls. We're going to talk about how to catch the fall giants and some tips and tricks for you guys to go out on the lake this weekend and catch you a nice giant bass. Guys, we will be right back with Mr. Billy Kohls. Guys, we are back with Mr. Billy Kohls. Billy, how are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Burning it on both ends, like we just talked about, man. You and me both just moved into a new house, and guiding's going well. Still doing many trips a week, and just kind of rocking and rolling, dude. I've just been putting furniture together for what feels like a month.
I hear that. Yeah, I just have a new little one join us, so we're definitely tired. That's for sure.
Yep. Yeah,
Um,
you look pretty beat, brother.
yeah, but I appreciate you coming on short notice.
Yeah, for sure.
Tonight we go. I want to talk to you a little bit about catching some fall giants, mainly at Smith Mountain Lake, because that's what you're familiar with. So let's just jump into it. What's happening at Smith Mountain right now?
There's a lot going on, man. We're having another dry fall, number one, so we're not getting a lot of stained water. It's pretty much looking like the same water clarity almost the whole lake. Um, we had a interesting long summer of really, really full pond water. So a lot of bluegill eaters, a lot of stuff, a lot of fish going on up shallow, glide baits, like a lot of big stuff. And then about 3 weeks ago, they started pulling the water in. And I actually was just texting with a buddy like 20 minutes ago. The lake is super low tonight. It's almost down to 792, which that's the lowest it's been all year by a lot. So that pulled a lot of fish offshore. So we're actually seeing a lot of big schoolers, which is kind of like an August September type of deal. But I
Mhm.
don't see I'm not seeing as many big wolf packs and as many big groups up shallow. I think that's going to probably change here in the next week or two, just because it's going to stabilize and it's about to get really cold. But right now, your best bet to go out and catch 3 to probably 6 pound class fish is probably offshore, and then sprinkle in some shallow fishing to see if you can run into a 7 to 9 pounder. But
Mhm.
it's pretty slim pickings, super shallow right now, and I think with them pulling the water, it's probably just kind of sucking more of those fish off the bank. So.
So, are you surprised any about the fall weights, especially the tournaments at Smith Mountain? Like the Bass Kings was there,
Yeah.
man solo. I mean, I feel like it didn't take a lot to win. Um,
Yeah, I think that's probably. I mean, it's both factors. I think more than anything, it's bait migration. Most of the bait's not even in the back of pockets yet. There's a couple pockets that are getting pretty loaded, but as far as like a typical textbook, go to the back of a pocket, throw a buzz bait. There's bait everywhere. That's just not going on yet. The bait's kind of stalled out on the main lake and secondary, so that doesn't surprise me that much. And then I know for us for the cat trail this past weekend, I mean the weather was solid for people to catch it. I think there was 4 bags over 20.
mhm,
No real giant fish, but like a lot of good quality fish. It looks like a lot of the guys that did really well are kind of your like schooly guys too. So that kind of
mhm,
tells me that it was probably covering a lot of water, not spending too much time on schools. A lot of the dudes that fish shallow
mhm,
didn't really do much, us included. We beat the living hell out of a school for 2 hours. It was awesome. Missed two big ones at the boat, and then I went through a jig for 3 hours, which was way too long. And went back to schoolers at the end of the day and just never really got on anything. So um, yeah, I don't think we're there yet. I know we have the big bass tournament coming up here in the next couple weeks.
mhm.
We'll see what some of the cool weather does. But I don't know that it's going to draw a huge population of fish shallow. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Elite 70 Team Trail Championship is the same time.
Mhm. It's right
Um,
around there, yeah.
yeah, I think it's the same time as the big bass. So those shallow ones are probably going to get beat up pretty hard. unless we get some serious cold weather that pushes the bait back into the back, I think you're going to have a lot of dudes probably fishing offshore to get some checks and see if they run into anything big. It's still going to get one shallow. It's really, really difficult to catch anything over 6 pounds out suspended. So if you're
Yeah,
coming to fish that,
they had a 865 caught that was weighed in at I think it was by another guy maybe. Smith.
Weston Hartman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Weston's a striper guy. He was live baiting and he
Mm.
was just trolling. You
I
know,
was wondering how he caught it. I I kind of
yeah.
figured
Well, I shouldn't say he was live baiting. I would guess he was live baiting, but maybe he caught it on a spoon, a
yeah,
spoon or a fluke. I'm not 100% sure.
right.
But in most cases, I mean, he's off the bank for sure. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, that was a nice one. I know there was an 8-pounder caught for one of Dwayne's tournaments a couple weeks ago. That was
Mhm.
probably on a buzz bait. But yeah, I mean, if you're fishing the big bass and coming and listening to this, we're still a week away. Maybe there's a little bit of wave shallow, but
Mhm.
if you're looking to cash checks and not try to necessarily win a boat, you probably want to go offshore. If you want to try to win the boat, I wouldn't fish any deeper than 10 feet. So,
Yeah. So, the pockets that you're seeing the bait in, do they have natural water coming into them, like a creek, spring, like that natural
yeah,
body of water?
yeah, it's mostly just the main feeder creeks.
Mhm.
There's a couple other kind of random ones, but majority of them are feeder creeks. And I'm talking, dude, it's like three of them.
Mhm.
That that the bait's pushed back in, and the bait doesn't stay back there all day yet either. It's kind of a
Mhm.
situation where the bait's back there like first thing in the morning, and then by 10 o'clock, there's really not much activity going on. Stuff's kind of moving around. So
So are you
uh,
seeing big bait, small bait, medium, or just all
both,
kinds of different both
yeah,
in?
both. I mean, there's some gizzard shad around up shallow for sure. But most of it's just thread fin, that like 3-inch thread fin deal. And then a lot
Mhm.
on the lower end, you still have a lot of the like yearling shad stuff. So, you're throwing little baits that are an inch to 3 inches long,
Right.
um, down in the lower end. I will say, if you want to go out and just have a fun time, the stripers are freaking everywhere.
Yeah.
Pick a point anywhere below the state park, and there's probably 100 to 500 stripers on it. Just sit there for a second and let them kind of come in. So um,
Yeah.
it's been super easy to get on something like that.
Yeah, I saw you had a guide trip a couple days ago where one of the one of your clients caught a nice one. I can't remember how big that one was, but it was a
Yeah, I
pretty.
mean, we're catching 4s to 4.5s out of the schools now.
Mhm.
Which again, going back to August, September, when you would think like you're going to be offshore doing the schooling deal, I was fishing super shallow. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm catching a 4-pounder a day, sometimes a couple, and then
Mhm.
for that cat trail, I mean, we had like a 6-pounder come off. So, but to be able to target those ones in the actual schools is pretty tough. You're just kind of picking away on live scope at which ones look like the bigger returns, but you don't know if it's a 4-pounder or a 6-pounder. So.
So are we dropping minnows? Are we drop shotting? What are we seeing on live scope or
Um,
we're using? I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, typical Smith Mountain. This is the month to throw top water for sure.
Mhm.
So if it's a popper, if it's a walking bait, if it's a buzz bait plopper, it looks like there's a lot of new ploppers coming out. I think
Mhm.
Grapple's got that one, and then Berkeley just dropped the Screaming Chapo or whatever. So you definitely got kind of those staple ones. The fluke's still
Mhm.
rocking really good. I am catching fish on a minnow just because you have to have a minnow on 12 months out of the year now.
Mhm.
Uh, I haven't messed with anything like an A rig yet. I don't know if that's something I could potentially play for the big bass. Got a
Would
few
would
bumps
it
on
be
a mag
cold enough?
drift.
Would
Say
it
it
be
again.
cold enough right now for an A rig, or does it? I guess it really doesn't matter because I mean we caught some in the
Yeah,
fall when it was
yeah. I
about
mean,
what
you
what
can
temperatures
definitely you
now.
can definitely catch them on it in the fall. I'd go with a faster reel,
Mhm.
and really be working it pretty fast. Most of these fish want something moving stupid fast. Um, So it's really less about, I would say, the specific bait every day. It's more about figuring out the cadence right away. Like
Hmm.
uh, the windier, cloudier days, just start by working the piss out of everything and see what happens. But some of the sunnier days and stuff, you kind of got to slow it down or maybe do some pretty weird cadence stuff to get the bites. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, the A rigs jumped into my mind a couple times just to show them something different. Probably put smaller
Hmm.
profile baits on it and just rip it through them. But yeah, it's top water probably 80% of the day, and then
Right.
besides that, you're throwing a shaky head and a jig. You don't really need to overthink the other
Yeah.
baits. Honestly, dude, the drop shot bite hasn't been that great for me, and obviously I
Yeah.
try to utilize everything I can for guiding, but
Hmm.
um, yeah, dude, it just hasn't been that great for me the last couple months. I usually don't even have it on the deck right now. I'm just doing a shaky head or a jig. So
After I fished with old Harmon, I can't put it down. He put
yeah,
me in master class, and I was like, I'm getting embarrassed right now. He's catching them like nobody's business. But
yeah.
no,
I mean,
he
it's
does.
definitely a killer way to do it. Matt's really good with the drop shot too, but yeah, it just
Yeah.
hasn't panned out for me on the stuff I've been fishing around. So
So, in your opinion or your thought process, where will big bass be won? What side of the lake? I know that puts you on the spot a little bit.
no, not really. I mean, dude, there's still retread fish from the other big bass in Craddock. So
Really?
Craddock's a
Oh.
good creek to look at. Obviously, we have retread fish at the state park, at Indian, at the bridge, at Gills. Like, that's your heavy populated areas just in general.
Mhm.
Um, I would say if we have nights in the 40s for 7 days in a row, it's going to be in the back of a pocket. Somebody's just going to run and find that first big fish. Because so it's just like the springtime too, Calvin. The first fish to move to the back to spawn and the first fish to move to the back in the fall are usually the biggest ones.
Mm.
So if they're not there yet and we get a week of some serious cold temps at night and we get down into say like 65-degree water temperature, then there's going to be a big fish somewhere in the back of a pocket.
Yeah.
Um, so whether that's like we talked about a main feeder one or if that's some kind of random offshoot,
Yeah.
I think I already looked this up. I don't think the full moon is around the tournament. So
Mhm.
uh, they'll probably bite pretty good. The only other thing I would consider doing if it was super windy is me personally, I wouldn't put either a mag draft down or a crankbait and just run as much shallow rock on docks and stuff like that I could think of. So
Yeah, I thought about that. I mean, because I have a lot of people who are like, "What do you think is going to win?" I'm like, different things have won every year, so it's like
sure,
I can't tell them like, "Oh, go throw this," because
yeah.
like you said, it's been weird weather. Like it's been.
But I do think the last
Yeah.
okay, so I think a couple years ago, I think it was this fall, one got one on a whopper plopper, one got one on a buzz bait. I
Mhm.
think I don't remember if Cooper won this past fall or this past spring, but that was a jig.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, this one compared to the springtime big bass, I would leave it way more textbook.
Mhm.
The only thing I would loop in, and that's just a comfortability thing, is a glide bait, and just run as much rock and stuff that I could find with a glide. Because again, I use a glide bait less to catch them and more to see what caliber of fish is there. So
Right.
if this tournament's 3 days long and you throw a glide bait and see a 9 pounder on a dock and you see her twice in a day and she doesn't eat the glide, well then I would go back there the next day with the jig or something and
Yeah.
see if she's still there. So
Now you're fishing. Are you fishing both the solo and the team, or just a team?
no, I did the Bass Kings too.
Mhm.
I barely could do enough to qualify for the championship. I think I just did the two that I had availability to do. So I'll do the championship. But I spun a ear off the freaking prop during the Bass Kings and lost like 2.5 hours
Yeah, I
of
saw
fishing.
that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, stupid. I finally bit the bullet and bought a super expensive Bravo, which it's just stuff disgusting how much stuff costs for boats, but it's fine. I bought it and it's a nice prop. It runs the boat really good. But yeah, I'm doing both. I'm excited for that championship. I usually do good here in like mid-November through mid-December. So
Yeah, that tournament trail's really taken off. I think Kevin does
yeah,
a great job of, running that. Both of them really.
yeah,
He's had a great turnout for the last couple years.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, I think he piloted it last year. And
mhm,
look, dude, I know there's like new BFL rules and like all this stuff coming out and all that sort of stuff. He's doing random polygraph tests, and for the entry fee that it is, if you're fishing against 25
mhm,
guys and you're going to take home almost $3,000, like that's probably one of the best payouts of the region.
yeah.
Um, and not no wacky rules. Like I don't know. I think it's a good trail to be piloting and trying, and hopefully it gets some more traction where we get some people coming from other places too. So
So, what do you going back to the BFL rules? What's your thought on them? I've heard a lot of different opinions.
I don't know. So
Um,
to be, I mean, I'm a transparent guy. You know that from just the
mhm,
conversations we had. I usually just cherry pick Smith Mountain. I'm not going to go to Bugs. I hate that place, and I'm not gonna do all five BFLs. I was kind of hoping they were going to do the regional at Smith Mountain, and I would have considered doing
mhm,
the five just to see if I could qualify. Um, but I still haven't gotten a clear like text from anybody or message on how they're going to regulate the 3 hours. I think three is weird. If it's an 8 hour tournament, you should do four.
4, yeah, do
Um,
half and half.
but yeah, I mean, what is it? I've kind of heard two things that your co-angler is supposed to do it, or I've also heard that there's something in the software that you can timestamp on when you use it. But again, my main like hypothetical to that is you make a cast with 2 hours and 58 minutes on your live scope and you hook a 7 pounder and you play it for 6 minutes and then you
Mhm,
have adrenaline, you bring it in, you have to cull, you're shaking, and all of a sudden you're 3 hours and 12 minutes into your live scope and you timestamp it and then like
yeah,
you get in trouble for that. Like I don't know, dude. Either allow it or don't. Like just don't make it complicated.
yeah,
Most of
and
these guys are just trying to fish to have fun. They're not out here trying to think that they're going to make a bajillion dollars off of this stuff. So don't put more stress on dudes about having to monitor something else during a tournament. Just let us
yeah,
fish.
and the co-angler thing, like, I understand, like, you trying to give them a fair shot, but they're gonna have to learn to adapt as well. I mean,
Yeah,
that's fishing in general, is you're gonna have to learn to adapt to your situations. Um,
yeah. I don't know, dude. There's too many unknowns of like you know I went over my time by accident. And it's
yeah,
like, okay, so what? You get DQ'd. You got to take a lie detector. Like, what are they going to do? Do 6 lie detector tests for dudes that went over? Because those
yeah,
cost money. They're not free.
yeah, I didn't like it when I read it. I was like, "Well, this is kinda bogus." Like,
Yeah,
I get the limiting side of it, but also, like, I don't agree with it. I mean,
yeah,
you can't hinder somebody that, paid that amount of money and, is pretty good at what they do. Like,
yeah, yeah.
I
They would
I
have been better off, I think, if it was 5 events. If they would have been better off with just doing what Bass did and coin flipped it. Just said, all
Yep.
right, these 3 events get it, these two don't, and let's see how it pans out. Because 2 events is enough. If dudes are really only good at scoping and doing the scope
Mhm.
deal, not
Yeah,
not bashing on the next generation of anglers or whatever, because they do work hard and they're all good anglers, but like that'll really show the true power of the technology is if they did 3 tournaments with it, two without, and you saw the majority of the field flipped
yeah.
after the two. So
When they did that, I was really, because I talked to John Cruz about it. He said that he likes it because, it gets everybody a fair shot. Like,
sure.
and the rules, like, and he said, "Yeah, it's gonna be good," and, you know,
Yeah,
we're gonna see old school come back, which is gonna be nice. What everybody wants to
yeah,
see.
yeah. I'll be
Yeah.
interested to see what weights do if it's a
Mhm.
situation where now you see these 25, 27 pound bags, and then all of a sudden it drops and everybody's back to catching 17 to 20 pounds. So
Yeah. That I was wondering about that too, because I mean, you don't really fish are adapting to the pinging sound. They know
for
you can
sure,
just see it on live scope too. They'll run from you.
dude, I'm at 120 feet. And once they're in
Mm,
90 feet, they start swimming down. So
yeah,
it's
but
wild.
yeah, that's yeah. I was gonna fish them. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was gonna fish as a co-angler, but after that came out, I'm like, I don't know about all that now
Yeah.
because if I have to monitor it, I get so lost to the fishing and I'll lose track of time. And
Yeah.
sorry for the boater if you went over. Whoops.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We'll see. They'll come out with some rule at some point, or I'm probably just going to do the one Piedmont Smith Mountain deal anyway, since I know the divisionals in Georgia. So
Well, what's funny is I looked at the Shenandoah division and there's no Smith Mountain Lake,
correct.
which is odd.
Yeah.
But I think it's also going to be a different. I don't know. It's just weird that there's not. There's usually a Smith in both of them.
Yep.
But I don't know. I'm interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah. Give the lake a break, I guess. We'll see. Somebody else will pick it up. Anglers will come here.
Yeah,
The Elite
I didn't
70
know.
will come here or
I,
something.
I didn't know how well or how known the Alpha 70 was until like I started following them. I was like, wow, there's some big names in here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, for sure. I think Prosnick was at the state park today, from what I heard. Somebody said that there was a Yamamoto Falcon boat there. So
yeah, but no, I mean, so you're thinking Topwater's going to take the big bass this year?
yeah, it'll be top water or a jig for sure. Again, I can't fish them. If it was me, I would be fishing 10 feet or less. That's where a big one's going to be at. I also wouldn't be worried about if it's the third day of the tournament,
Hmm.
um, to continue to hit the shallow stuff. With these cold nights, there's going to be fish moving up. There's going to be fish moving up every time, every night. So
Yeah, yeah. I don't like fishing the big bass because there's so many people that come from, and there's like a million boats on Smith Mountain,
yeah,
and people say, "Oh, it's a big lake," but it really isn't. It fishes really small.
yeah,
But it'll be interesting to see. Somebody's going to catch a decent sized one. Um,
it's definitely going to take 8 or 9 pounds for sure.
right.
Yep, for sure.
But, well, Billy, I appreciate you coming on such late notice. I know
Yeah,
you're in a new house trying to build furniture, get everything settled. So I don't want to keep you too long. Um, but again, I appreciate you coming on. Tell everybody where they can find you if they don't know you by now. You've been on our show a couple times.
yeah. Yeah, the guide service is Smith Mountain Lake Fishing Guide Service.com. Instagram and all my social stuff's just Billy_Kohls Fishing. Probably looks a little bit slow right now just with the move and stuff. I haven't even done my October fishing report. I'll probably either get it done here in the next couple days or probably just we'll do one in November. So, but we're just slam doing this big move and trying to stay on the fish. So good luck to everybody doing the big bass. Stay safe, and we'll get back on here in the winter.
Well, Billy, I appreciate it, and I hope your move is smooth.
Thanks, man.
All right. See you.
Have a good one.